Hello, hello, hello. Let's do one of those amazingly popular film reviews because I know everybody's digging those. I finally got around to watching Interstellar from 2014 by that there Christopher Nolan. I have a well, if you follow these things, I have a what's that? Yeah, love hate relationship with Nolan. I think sometimes he does some interesting movies, and sometimes it's a bit pretentious. And Interstellar is a film that I avoided for a long time because of, you know, 2001 Space Odyssey, which is one of my favourite movies, and I was worried that it was going to be just like a piss poor rerun, a retread of some of the ideas, in that. And in a way, it is. It is a homage to the epic sci-fi space movie. Um, yeah, it's a funny film. Not funny as in funny, haha, but um, the more I think about it, the more it annoys me. When I watched it initially, I just turned my brain off, sat there, and surrendered to the movie. And there was a lot I enjoyed about it. I thought it was again, it was a good, interesting take on, intelligent sci-fi. It gives you a lot to think about, and we need a lot of that. We don't get enough clever sci-fi. I'm thinking of films like Arrival. They're very few and far between where they actually make you think about science and the future and technology and stuff like that. Um, yeah, there are films out there, and there's this one. So it's 169 minutes long. It's a long film. It is a long film. It's an incredibly long film. And I will be spoiling it because I do need to talk about plot points in it. I think this one, I do need to discuss what goes on in it. It's the future. It's the future, not too far in the future, and there's a, a, an event. There's a cataclysmic event happening, which is affecting the crops. Yeah, the crops are dying, so we're all fucked basically. But it concentrates on Cooper, played by Matthew McConaughey. Um, and again, the opening starts with him having this dream of him failing this flight test. So he has to eject. It kind of blights his career, and then he goes into farming and the farm fails. Dust patterns. I'm going to skip ahead because I want to talk about this later and why the film is so wrong. The thrust of the film is man has to go off into space to find a new planet for us to inhabit because our old planet's fucked. That's the thrust of it. That's the thrust of it. And the main theme of this is time dilation. Again, I don't know if you're familiar with that idea. We're on Earth, people moving away from Earth at frightening speeds, speed of light or whatnot. For them, time is slower relatively to those people on Earth. So whilst they're moving away, it takes them 5 minutes. Ages, so if they come back again, they'll still be whatever age. They wouldn't have aged much, but the people that they've left behind would have died and gone. And there's lots of ideas about time dilation and time being more running slower around event horizons and black holes and cosmic events. That is the thrust of the film. That is it, really. Time and saving humanity via a black hole, which is a gateway to other planets. And there may also be some sort of extraterrestrial or future Earth people that are talking back in time to save us. That's it. That's the thing. It goes on for 169 minutes. It's very long. It's very long. Very long. Whilst I like the idea of it, there is so much clunkiness in it. And again, the whole first section, where he's a farmer who then finds a secret base where there's a functioning spaceship, and he can pilot it. You know, it's all big coincidence stuff, and but of course he sends a signal back via the dust in the library. Oh, I can't even express just how that whole beginning section is just irritating, irritating because it's just there. If we got rid of all of that, we could just start with him. We got to go off into space to save the Earth, you know. And I don't know, a short scene with his daughter seeing a dust pattern that talks to her. You know, they were so they spent so much time laying the foundation of him talking back in time to his daughter that it was just so much time was dedicated to that scene, and I'm sure it could have been done more economically, quickly, you know, but it went on. What I did like was, you know, space, exploring the planets, seeing Matt Damon turns up as a bad guy. That was good. Um, but again, it's like, you know, it's everything's so laboured and it takes so long, and it's like, uh, and then at the end, you know, he gets back, he gets to go back and see his daughter, who's Ellen Burstyn, because she's old and he's still young, and then he goes and finds Anne Hathaway, who's still young because she's time dilated around this planet, around a black hole. Yeah, it's like that. I liked the ideas of it, but I think the execution was. It's just, again, this is Nolan. He's very self-indulgent. Um, for him, having a film being 169 minutes is not a problem. You know, he doesn't care about the audience. He doesn't care about the attention span of the audience. He doesn't care about the scientific concepts that, you know. And we get a happy ending at the end. I think it would have been much more satisfying if Cooper's character would have, you know, we'd have gone for the quantum leap ending, where he didn't get back home and he was just, you know, atoms on the cosmic breeze. I think that would have been much more poetic. And also, he saves humanity, but he sacrifices himself. There's no sense of sacrifice, and the people who are sacrificed are merely bit players. You know, that's the problem with it. That's the problem. You know, is there is no sense of danger. You know, especially at the end. He lives. He ends up seeing his daughter. Happy ending, though he's a man out of time. Sometimes it would have been better off to die, maybe. So yeah, I'm kind of divided over this film, because whilst I admire Christopher Nolan for bringing, you know, cosmic ideas to the public, I think there's a better way he could have done it. Yeah, I think, again, and this is what we see in a lot of movie makers these days, and Nolan, again, he did it with Tenet as well. Um, just they don't see movie making as a temporal art form. Time for them is irrelevant. You know, I always believe that, you know, some of the best movies are about 90 minutes long, but they push it further and further and further. Um, you know, and also there are some bits in it when he uses the chord that from 2001, so it's really obvious what he's doing. You know, and the family drama bit, you're supposed to care, and it's like, no, start with them just taking off. You know, a card saying the Earth is blighted by environmental issues. We need to find another planet. Michael Caine is sending them off into space on a mission that is actually a failure because, you know, but again, you can't. It's revealed. The big reveal is that the mission was always doomed. All right. You know, there are some bits in it that are just totally irritating, but uh, it made 165. Was it? No, it made $701 million at the box office, apparently, on the back of a $165 million budget. So People liked it. And that's a good thing. That's what, again, that's why I admire it, because people are up for proper heavyweight sci-fi. It's just a shame. I think it could have been a lot better film. And again, I think I want to say, Matthew McConaughey, he's very good in it. It's his character. He's very watchable and he's very likable in this. Anne Hathaway, I like her, but sometimes she is, you get a feeling she's just a little bit disconnected from the performance. Michael Caine's there, of course he is. But they didn't age him or de-age him, so when there's a time jump, he still looks like Michael Caine, current Michael Caine, and it's just convenient that they've actually happened to be working on this spaceship, But the algorithm's wrong; it can never be solved unless you go to the future. What they needed was the almanac from Back to the Future, Marty McFly's sports almanac. That would have solved everything. But yeah, I mean, it's all right, and it is a bit of a love letter to the ideas, and the concepts in 2001. I'm going to draw that comparison because I'm going to be talking about that in the next film review, which no one's going to care about. Would I say watch it? Yeah, watch it. It's fun. It's fun on a certain level, but it didn't have to take a long time to get to the fun, And I think also the robot design was a little bit. They should have been like the robots from Silent Running. They're just these kind of blocks, Do you think robots would be like that in the future? I mean, crikey, it's only meant to be like, I don't know, maybe 50 years in the future. So, 40 years. God, time's flying. We needed the monolith. That's what we needed. But anyway, that's what I think the robots are meant to represent. Aren't they meant to kind of represent the monolith from 2001? Or is that just me just getting very Kubrick on this? But the score's good. Hans Zimmer's there. Hans Zimmer's doing what Hans Zimmer does. The cinematography is great. Looks lovely. Goes on a bit though, And what's his name's in it, isn't he? Timothy Chalamet's in it as young Tom, and Casey Affleck. Yeah. Should have had Ben Affleck in it as well. That would have been good. But yeah, on one level, John Lithgow's in it. On one level, all right. On another level, goes on a bit. But you're going to hear that from me a lot. You're going to hear that. Anyway, thanks for not watching. Don't forget to thumbs down this video. Don't subscribe. Don't tell anyone. Let's keep this a cult. And wait until the next one, which will be 2001, which is one of my favourite films of all time. Thanks for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, but I know you know what that is, and that is ta-da.